Many of you that are watching this video have seen Reform Funny Moments. It's a video series compiling some of the hilarious clips from our favorite theologians. Since this series began in 2020, it has accumulated over 2.4 million views, and it's spanned across over 5 seasons and spawned other related content. But what many of you don't know is the creative process it takes just to produce one episode. Why does it take so much time to publish one? Well, in this video, I'll be explaining in detail the creative process it takes to create an episode of Reform Funny Moments, and I hope you see the amount of thought it takes just to produce one video for you guys to enjoy. My name is Josh Kuipers. I'm the guy primarily behind this YouTube channel. I've been editing videos since I was a teenager. I taught myself on how to edit, starting with basic programs like Windows Movie Maker and iMovie. But eventually along the way, I learned how to use more sophisticated programs like Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects, the two programs that I use to this day. The first step in creating a Reform Funny Moment episode is to find the funny moments. I usually listen to sermons, Q&As, or podcasts in their entirety. And once I find a funny moment or two or several, I then will save the video on a playlist to download later. Then when it comes time to gather footage, I download the video using a program called YouTube Downloader, or I just simply capture it with OBS Software. Then the video file will be moved to its proper folder location. I do this so that way I can keep track of all the footage that I have downloaded. The footage then is imported into Premiere Pro, and all the funny moments in the clip are spliced into a sequence. This helps build a library of funny moments that can be used in future episodes. Currently, there are over 21-hour sequences of funny material stored. So there's a lot of unused material that I don't use in creating an episode. Once I believe I've gathered enough footage, it is then imported into another Premiere Pro file and assembled into a sequence. This can be a very long but a very critical process because it becomes the skeleton of what the episode will look like. I try to organize the clips so that way it can flow naturally from one to another. Like sometimes there's a certain theme that I notice in which the episodes revolve around, like more jokes about politics, or baptism, or eschatology. Sorry. Stupid cold. It is a fact that the most important part of any video is the first 30 seconds. If anyone that has done YouTube, you can look at your video analysis and you can see that within the first 30 seconds, that's when either the users will stay on the video or will drop off entirely. That's why the funniest clips are usually within the first 2 minutes, as it not only hooks the audience, but also sets the tone for the rest of the video. And in addition, I try to aim the videos between about 8 to 12 minutes, as that is the sweet spot for good engagement. Once the clips have been assembled, then I'm sorry. Whew. Once the clips have been assembled to my liking, then they are sent to After Effects using what's known as dynamic link. It's a neat feature that allows to edit clips in real time between Premiere Pro and After Effects. And After Effects is where all the text and special effects are put together. All the text is motion tracked and edited by hand. Yes, every single word is manually edited. So there might be a spelling error or two in the process. And if I need other assets, I go to a website known as Motion Array. It's a fantastic website that gives you unlimited sound effects, royalty-free music, color grading, and other amazing stuff. There are times when I also use FilmPack, which is has some amazing stock footage and very powerful music for you to download. I highly recommend these websites if you want to produce high quality videos. But if I were to say what is the most complicated part in editing these videos, it would be the animations. The animation process is a very time-consuming process, but it is also one of my favorite parts in making these episodes because it really scratches the creative itch that I have when editing these videos. My friend Anso is the man behind all the artwork in creating these awesome animations. He is a Christian brother who lives with his family in India. He and I have been doing these animations. Man. He and I have been doing these animations for the past couple of years and has developed a pretty good system in creating new animations. And the process goes like this. The first step in the process is the storyboard. I draw all the shots, individual shots and scenes by hand using stick figures and arrows. I mean, hey, it's the best I got. But it lays out exactly what I want in the animation, and it helps communicate to Anso what I am thinking in creating this animation.
Most people don't know this, but my dad had some run-ins with the Sicilian Mafia in Cleveland.
Of course he did.
And my dad's stepdad,
yeah,
his possible death was because of them.
No, actual realistic death in real life.
Yeah, realistic death, yes. Let's be honest about this. My dad's stepdad was murdered by the Sicilian Mafia.
How did we get on this? How did we get on this?
And once the storyboard is complete, a list of all the parts that I need to be drawn is compiled. And this is what's known as the parts list. And then all that's on that list is then sent to Anso for him to draw. And this is where he takes it over. So the first thing that Anso does is the brainstorming stage. Once Anso receives the parts list, he then does meticulous research in how to draw them. He grabs images like Google, Instagram, Facebook, X, and compiles them what's known as a morgue file. And depending on the complexity of the character, the research alone can take between 1 to 4 days. That's why the characters that he draws are so incredibly detailed and accurate. And once Anso believes he has enough images to work with, he then moves to what's known as the rough sketch or penciling stage, which he uses all the reference photos to create a rough sketch of the character. And from the rough sketch, he then pencils in a good outline as to what he exactly wants. The next stage, the inking stage, is when the paper drawings that he has done are scanned with a Snapseed or Oaken scanner. They are digitized drawings that are imported into a program called Ibis Paint X. With this program, Anso then proceeds to draw with his fingers. Yes, you heard that right. His fingers. With his fingers, he then sketches the pencil outline and organizes all the different hand gestures, leg poses, eyes, mouth, all of that into multiple different layers, so that way it helps keep everything organized and becomes a smooth export later. And so once he finishes drawing with his fingers, he then colors in all the individual pieces. He adds complexity to each individual one. He adds flat colors, he adds light, he adds shadows. This is to help create more realism for each of the individual parts. Once all the pieces have been completely drawn, he then sends the file back to me to review. If I like what I have, then I begin the animation process. So all the pieces that Anso sends back to me are then organized and assembled into After Effects. I create a base composition, I set all the anchor points, and I link all the parts together, and using the storyboard as a template, I then split it up into separate compositions and begin the long process of animating all the scenes by hand. I first animate the mouthpieces. Frame by frame, the mouthpieces are synced with the audio, and then the rest of the body parts are animated. And then all the other parts are linked to one layer. For those of you who don't know, I had a flu last week, which completely destroyed my voice, and it's not 100% back, but these outtakes are going to be hilarious. Then all the parts are linked to one layer, which acts like a moving camera. And this process is repeated until all the compositions are completely animated. The frame-by-frame animation can vary depending on the complexity of each scene. A general rule of thumb is that for every 10 seconds of animation, it takes between 2 to 4 hours. The more complex an animation is, the longer time it will take. For example, this dancing shot that you see here of Daryl Harrison.
Let your haters be your motivators and keep listening to the Just Thinking podcast.
Took, I kid you not, 10 hours to animate. That's a lot of time, but it's probably one of my favorite shots in the entire series of Reform Funny Moments. Once all the edits are complete, the video is then exported. While the video is being exported, I begin creating the YouTube thumbnail using After Effects from a variety of templates that I've created over the years. And when the video is done exporting and the thumbnail is created, it's then uploaded to YouTube for a final review. In addition to publishing the video, I create a shortened URL links to all the clips that are seen in the video. Those links can be found in the video's description. So if you expand the description, you can see and click on any of those links, and you can go to the source of where they're from. And I also make sure that I say in the comments that all the sources are found in the description. And yet for some reason, people keep asking me in the comments, where does this clip come from? And I have to keep saying, all the sources are found in the description. So please, if someone asks in the comments where the video is from, just tell them politely that they're in the description! Once I believe the video is done and I believe that it is good for public viewing, then I schedule the video usually to be released on Monday morning at around 6 a.m. I try to make an announcement on X, which you can follow me here. And that, my friends, is the process of making a Reform Funny Moments. And as the season has progressed, I tried to push the boundaries of my creativity and editing skills. And while that does usually take more time, it's always worth it. Now, I know there's also other factors as to why these videos take so long to produce as well. I mean, the simple reality is, Anso and we have lives. Anso has a family to take care of, and he is a member of his own church in which he serves very well over there. And I just got recently married within the past 2 years to the love of my life, and I'm also a Bible teacher at my own local church. And these take priority over any video content that I produce. And in addition, there are other digital media projects that I am very excited for. They're currently in the works. I'm still working on a lot of pre-production. Lord willing, you'll see the fruit of those gifts, and I believe that these digital media projects will be used to glorify God and to really edify the church. And one of the most encouraging things, though, about this channel is really just how patient you are. I know these do take a long time, but you guys are incredibly patient and have been very supportive of where God is taking this channel. I always love the positive feedback that I get from you guys. And I wouldn't be able to do any of this stuff if it wasn't for your support and liking and commenting and sharing how it's edified you. Those go a long way to keep doing what I'm doing. Well, that's it. That is how Reformed Funny Moments is made. I hope this helps you gain a better understanding of the time and effort it takes to create a video. And, you know, Lord willing, the next video will be in the works very soon. So thank you all so much for watching. And as always, remember, Jesus Christ is a far greater Savior than you are a sinner. God bless. Have a good day. Oh, by the way, this is my wife.
Hi.
She's the newest part of the Kuiper empire.
I'm Mrs. Bell.
Wow, the microphone's taller than you.
Yes, it is. Well, you married a short woman, so that's what you get.
She's pretty cute. Love you, honey.
Love you too.
I hope I didn't scare you. That they're in the description!
No, I just found it funny just to hear you screaming in the office.
Yeah, I needed that. This is why I put all these acoustic foams, so that way the neighbors next to us won't hear my voice.
Well, they still might.
Right.